So he knew he wanted to sell that car. So what we did was, again, we did the video and he pointed out a few other cars. So those were the cars we actually focused on this content day. And what we do is we just go there on a consistent basis to capture what is up and welcome to the video. In this video specifically, I'm gonna be talking about the things that you need to have in place to stand out in today's meta advertising age, to help you get the most out of your marketing for your business and help you get the most amount of leads coming into your business for the lowest amount of cost possible. This is basically the challenge every business owner is trying to figure out. And if we can figure this out for ourselves, we can have an unfair competitive advantage in the market when it comes to competitors in our market. So I get to see this a lot. I see this with clients. I see this with literally running ads for our own business, marketing the marketing business, like I like to say. But we recently had a dealership client where he had an internal marketing team and he wanted us to come in and support that internal marketing team. And the reason he wanted this was because they wanted better results from their marketing, their meta marketing, and they have a pre-existing meta account where they've run ads before in the past. And when I logged in, I was able to see the history from that meta ad account. But one thing I saw is they were using a lot of very similar creatives. Like, it was a specific style of creative that they ran for ads consistently over and over again. And what that does, especially in today's day and age with with AI driving Meta's advertising decision-making process, you need to feed AI data, right? Data is like, it's food. It's literally like protein to bodybuilders. Data is that for AI. AI needs a lot of data to learn to know what is right, what is wrong. So in the advertising space, specifically for Meta, that data is gonna be your creative. How many different versions, which they are basically unlimited, but how many different versions of creative can you make to feed this gigantic AI platform to learn from? And by the way, this is great because the decision-making process of how it shows your content to the specific audience that you wanted to show your content to is a lot more precise. So if you speak in your content or in your static piece of photo or graphic that you're gonna be running as an ad, as long as there's messaging in that piece of content, the AI knows exactly who to show the content to. One thing that I like to tell clients to do to give them an unfair competitive advantage when it comes to capitalizing, getting the most out of advertising on Meta, is gonna be have some kind of system in place that helps you dominate your content creation process. Content is more important than ever now. You need to have a content machine, a content system. I'm seeing businesses right now go hire people specifically in-house just to do this. And I'm telling my clients to do that right now. Like, if you have the budget for it, go hire that new fresh out of college, new grad for 50, 60K a year. It's gonna cost you 5, 6 grand a month. Put them in your business and have them create content so that if you do have a advertising arm to your business, or you're using a business like mine to help you run your advertising, that business can have a specific point of contact that they reach out to for specific creatives that they want to test, and they can have that creative volume to test. That is how you win with Meta. You need somebody that is in-house that can output so much creative to where you have all the tools necessary for testing and for winning when it comes to advertising. So how did we help this client win? So what we did was we went into the business, we spent about a day, and we shot a whole lot of creative, specifically videos. These are videos that you will see. This is an automotive client. I don't know if I already mentioned that, but this is an automotive client. And these are videos that you would see from car-specific like Instagram accounts where the videos are shot very nicely. By the way, you don't have to do this, but I'm a little bit biased towards cars because I'm personally a car enthusiast. I've owned many, many, many cars. But we had that production day where we just shot a whole bunch of cars, and we shot it in a way where it wasn't, it showed that there was attention put behind the creative. And this is what I tell people. You don't need to do the fanciest shoot. You don't need to use the fanciest cameras. But would it be to your advantage if the creative you put out in a lineup of all your competitors stood out because a little bit more attention was put behind it? Like, you can still win if you just do the bare minimum when it comes to, like, if you're not doing content, I don't care what you shoot your content with. You can use your iPhone, just get something out there. But I like to lean into my unfair competitive advantage as much as I can. Like, how many layers of unfair competitive advantage can I layer on top of each other to help me keep winning against my competition? And for me, one of those things is gonna be the quality of the content that you put out. So we put out great content, we run great ads, we put out a high volume of content. Usually one has to give for most businesses. If you're doing high volume, usually the quality goes down. Or if you're doing high quality, the volume goes down. We try to maximize everything. So what kind of systems can you put in place to help you optimize or maximize the amount of content that you're putting out? So that's what we did. We went into the business, shot a bunch of content with the cars, but these are like artistic, like really nice type of, car content, photography, video, because we typically test statics as well as videos when it comes to running these ads. We shot everything. We came back, edited the entire thing, and then we ran them as meta ads. But on the videos, we actually said exactly what it was for. We're like, for sale, and we inserted the location. For sale, Tampa, Florida, call this number. And we had an insane amount of call leads coming in and callback requests coming in just 1 week into running the ads, right? But we would not be able to do that if we had one photo of the front of the dealership saying we sell cars. Like, you need a little bit more attention, and you need, more volume when it comes to the pieces of content that you're putting out. So for this client, again, we went in, we leaned into our unfair competitive advantage. We are a media content first marketing agency, so we do the content and we do the marketing. So we went in there, we captured all the pieces of content that we felt like we needed. And by the way, this client told us that there were specific cars that they wanted to sell, one of them being an AMG GTC. If you're into cars, you know that's an awesome car. It sounds amazing. It is a very high-end Mercedes, but he had done a full-on carbon fiber kit on the car, tastefully modded, nothing crazy. So he knew he wanted to sell that car. So what we did was, again, we did the video and he pointed out a few other cars. So those were the cars we actually focused on this content day. And what we do is we just go there on a consistent basis to capture content of the cars that bring them the highest revenue and cars that they want to sell. Like, we just increase the visibility of the vehicles. That's marketing. Marketing is increasing visibility, but really good marketing is increasing visibility to where the visibility is directed to the specific people that the piece of content or the piece of information needs to be visible to. So that's what we did. We took those cars, we shut out the videos, shut out the photos, put them into different formats. Sometimes it might be a photo with text on it, or it might be a photo in a Canva template that makes it look a little bit nice. It might be a photo with the logo of the business on it. There's so many ways to manipulate content to make it exactly what you want. But we basically did that, ran those as ads, and got amazing results. So moving forward, that's what we're gonna be doing for that client. We're just gonna have a high volume of content coming out to use for their advertising. And what this does is it also gives you content to use for organic, because all you gotta do is just take out the text that makes it an advertising piece of content and then just post it on the regular page to show them that the actual page is still active. Because we know that the modern consumer is a lot more sophisticated than consumers used to be. Like, if somebody saw an ad right now, you watching this video, if you saw an ad right now, you probably will go click on the profile of the person who's running the ad so you can see if they're a real person, so you can start getting to trust them, to know if you really like them, to know if you want to work with them. Versus in the past, where when people saw ads, they just went on the website and purchased. That was a long time ago. We're literally in a trust recession and people don't trust anyone anymore. So we try to make sure we cover all our bases when it comes to stuff like that. So on a content day like that, we maximize it. We take all the pieces of content for the highest value products that will get the highest value return, because why not just focus on what makes you the most money? We do that. And then we also simultaneously get content for organic posting, so we can help them post on their pages organically. So if you're struggling with how you can make meta ads work for you, work for your business, it might be that. It might be that you just don't have the creative volume being put out for your business. It might be that your competitors have that creative volume. They're overshadowing your business, right? So you need to lean into that. Create more volume, but also create quality. And find that perfect balance for you to where you don't lose too much quality and have an insane amount of volume, or you don't have so much quality where you're posting once every 6 months when it comes to ads, or you're testing once every 6 months, right? You need that balance. You need to see what the industry average is. You need to see actually, I take that back. You don't want to look at what the industry average is when it comes to advertising. You want to look at what the top people are doing. And based off the resources that you have right now, how close can you get to them? What can you arbitrage to make you a lot more competitive with the people that are at the top of the market. That is what we do. We try to squeeze the most value out of all the resources we have. So log into your advertising platform right now, log into the backend of Meta Ads, or have your advertising manager log into the backend of Meta Ads and see how many videos did we test, or how many pieces of creative, photos and videos, statics and different styles, how many pieces of those did we test in the last 90 days? You need to be testing a lot, and you need to be testing them, keeping an eye on them, looking at the ones that are working, making similar versions of those with different angles to test to see if they work even better, and looking at the ones that are not working but are pulling money away from your advertising campaigns and just killing those. It is all about volume, quality, being in front of the right person at the right time with the right product, which again, with AI and meta advertising, that is pretty much done for us. We just need to do our part of communicating our value, communicating the quality of our product, communicating that our product is the right product for the client, and doing that at such an insane volume to where when you feel like you're doing a lot, do even more. That is how you're gonna beat out the competition. That's how you're gonna seem like you're the only one in the market when there are hundreds of other people in your similar market. Like the marketing business is doing that to help the marketing business grow. And we're helping our clients do that as well, to help them stand out when it comes to their competitors, which is also one of the reasons we don't take a lot of similar businesses and similar niches within similar areas, because then we're kind of competing against ourselves. But that doesn't matter too much. The market cap for the businesses that we work with is more than that we can ever imagine, so it's not too much of a problem. But I would say if you want to stand out amongst your competitors, you need to create content at a volume where it would be unreasonable to not win. Thank you for watching the video. I hope you got some value from this video, real life value from an experience that we are literally currently going through with a current client with our business. Go implement this in your business. Let me know how it goes. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.